Hello friends! You're on the Last Days channel. Thank you so much for your engagement and support. And so, a review of events for October 30th. Paraguay. Cars float down the streets like boats. Flooding in Luque, Paraguay. Several streets in Luque were completely flooded. The flooding washed away many vehicles. The rains also caused the General Hospital in Luque to be flooded. Although the Ministry of Health has not yet commented on the situation, the Department of Meteorology and Hydrology predicts more rain on Monday throughout the country. Also in Nyamboku Department, large hail the size of a hen's egg fell on October 28. India. In India, there was a train accident in the state of Andhra Pradesh. 6 people were killed and 18 were injured and hospitalized. A train traveling from Visakhapatnam to Raigad collided with a train traveling from Visakhapatnam to Palazuelo. A rescue operation is underway and the authorities are providing all possible assistance to the injured. They have been taken to local hospitals where all necessary medical treatment is being provided to them. The Prime Minister discussed the incident with the Railway Minister. Japan. On October 30th, the Japanese volcano Sakurajima threw out large columns of smoke and ash. A small infrasound wave was also recorded. The volcano's explosive eruption continues. A powerful eruption from Minamide crater caused a pyroclastic flow. The height of the ash column reached more than 2,400 meters above Kyushu Island. The volcanic ash is blowing south toward Ibusuki, and up to 1 millimeter of ash is expected to fall in Kagoshima. The ashfall will also reach Komatsuki City, and small amounts of ash are expected in Terumazu, Kanoya, and Ibusuki cities. Large volcanic blocks were scattered between 600 and 900 meters from the crater. The volcano has been more active than usual for some time and authorities are vigilant. Sakurajima is one of the most active craters in Japan and is particularly dangerous because of its proximity to the city of Kagoshima, home to about 600,000 people. On September 28, the Japan Meteorological Agency reported that a level 3 alert had been declared for the volcano, meaning that it should not be approached. Urals and Western Siberia. Powerful snowfalls hit the Urals, and the region was at the mercy of a cyclone. Road services and traffic police crews are working in a reinforced mode. Over 60 accidents occurred on the roads of the Sverdlovsk region over the past day. More than 20 people were injured, including 3 children. One of the most serious accidents occurred on the Ural Highway, where the driver of a heavy truck did not calculate the distance and crashed into a lorry. The driver was trapped in the cab, and Emergencies staff had to cut the metal to get the man out. Traffic for trucks and buses is restricted on the 200-kilometer-long Perm-Yekaterinburg section of the federal highway because of the snowstorm. However, personal cars can be driven, but drivers are urged to be especially careful and not to exceed the speed limit. The situation in neighboring Siberia is not easy either. Snow is piling up on the highways in the Tyumen region, and patrols have been reinforced on the roads. Weather forecasters warn that the weather will worsen, and in some places it is expected to reach 13 degrees Celsius, snowstorms, and squally winds. Our planet. Asteroid Bennu regularly approaches Earth at close range, about once every 6 years. This massive space object, about 49 metric tons in diameter, was discovered in 1999, and NASA astronomers are keeping a close eye on it. There is a risk that Bennu will enter Earth's orbit and collide with it on September 24, 2182. If that happens, the impact would release 1,200 megatons of energy. Although the likelihood of a collision with Earth is currently low, Bennu has been classified as a potentially dangerous asteroid. It could come within 7 million kilometers of us. Bennu is rich in carbon and formed in the early stages of the solar system over 4 billion years ago. Because of its ancient nature, the asteroid is considered a valuable celestial body for scientists as it may contain important information about the origin and evolution of rocky planets like Earth. Researchers believe that it may even contain organic molecules like those necessary for the origin of life. This makes it a particularly interesting target for scientific research. Astana, Kazakhstan. A short circuit occurred at CHPP2 in Astana, which caused a complete reduction in generation for 40 minutes. The right bank part of the city was left without light. The emergency occurred at 21:58 local time. The left bank part of the city was not affected by the failure, also no blackouts at social facilities were recorded. In addition, part of the capital of Kazakhstan remained without water. In the press service of Gorvodokhanal explained that the power outage affected the operation of water supply and drainage systems at the main substation. Their 3 inputs were left without electricity. Utilities are eliminating the accident. 40 minutes after the emergency, the electricity began to return. At the moment, the light in the whole city. Colombia. In the Colombian department of Cundinamarca, there was an explosion in the coal mine, which killed at least 6 people and injured 2. There may still be people under the rubble, as at least 30 people were in the adits at the time of the explosion, of which only 7 were able to get to the surface on their own. In the settlement, 5 shafts converge underground for better air circulation. This is not the first case of mine explosions in the region. Last March, there was a similar explosion that killed 21 people. In 2022, another coal mine in Colombia's Boyaca department had an explosion that killed 13 people. The situation at the Cundinamarca and Boyaca mines is very dangerous and requires immediate action to ensure the safety of workers and prevent similar accidents in the future. Komi. There was a fire at an oil tank that was decommissioned in Komi. The open burning was extinguished, but 1 worker died and 1 suffered burns of 30% of the body. The area of the fire reached 360 meters. According to preliminary data, the cause of the fire was a violation of safety equipment during work by the contracting organization. The fire occurred in the morning of October 29 during repair work on the tank, which belongs to the oil company. A neighboring tank partially filled with oil was also affected by the fire. According to the Russian Emergencies Ministry, there is no threat to the neighboring tank. Kazakhstan. The number of dead due to the accident at the mine named after Kostenko in Karaganda region of Kazakhstan increased to 45. Earlier there was information about 35 missing. The accident at the mine occurred on October 28. The cause of death: explosion of methane mixture. In time did not trigger gas detection sensors. Initially there was a fire. And 7 to 8 minutes later there was an explosion. The range of the shock wave was about 2 kilometers. At the time of the accident, there were 252 people in the mine. 205 of them managed to leave the mine on their own. 20 sought medical help. 1 of them is in a serious condition. Mexico. On Wednesday, October 25th, disaster struck the Pacific coast of Mexico. Hurricane Otis hit the region and the death toll continues to rise. According to the latest government figures, 48 people have already died and at least 10 more are missing. Hundreds of thousands of people have been left without light and water, and widespread looting has also been reported. Mexican officials say Otis has become the most powerful hurricane ever to hit Mexico's Pacific coast, leaving behind billions of dollars worth of destruction. Authorities opened an air bridge between Acapulco and Mexico City to evacuate tourists and residents, after restoring operations at Acapulco City Airport. The military is conducting evacuations from danger zones. The situation on Mexico's Pacific coast remains critical and authorities continue to work to eliminate the effects of Hurricane Otis. Saudi Arabia, the city of Mecca. As a result of heavy rains on October 27, 2023, Mecca, Saudi Arabia was flooded. The streets of the city turned into rivers and the water level reached 60 centimeters in some places. Previously, rainfall was a rare occurrence in Mecca, but this downpour caused significant damage to streets and buildings. The famous Masjid al-Haram Mosque was also flooded, causing concern among worshippers. The streets of the city sacred to all Muslims were flooded. The Education Authority announced the suspension of classes in schools in some cities, including Mecca and Medina. Saudi authorities, along with the Saudi Red Crescent, responded swiftly to the crisis and sent rescue teams to help those affected. Temporary shelters have also been set up for those displaced from their homes. Tourists are trying to leave the city, but some flights at the international airport have been cancelled. The tragic flooding in Mecca serves as a stark reminder of the growing challenges posed by climate change.